6 forensic dentists examined the same bite mark. 6 credentialed experts, one of them among the most respected in the world.
All 6 named the same man.
All 6 were wrong, and he lost 33 years of his life. Because you've been told your whole life that your teeth are as unique as your fingerprints. Nobody ever tested it.
On April 8, 2016, a 60-year-old man walked out of Nottoway Correctional Center in Virginia. He had gone in when he was 27. He'd missed 33 years. Both his parents had died while he was inside. He said the worst part wasn't the prison. It was that they never got to see his name cleared. His name is Keith Allen Howard, and he did not do it. In 1982, a man broke into a home in Newport News, Virginia. He murdered a shipyard worker named Jesse Perron. He raped Perron's wife, and during the attack, he bit her repeatedly on the legs. Howard was a sailor on the USS Carl Vinson, docked nearby. The surviving victim could never identify him. He didn't match her description of the attacker. She said the man was clean-shaven and about 19. Howard was 26 with a mustache, but 6 forensic dentists examined those bite marks. 6 trained, credentialed experts, including one of the most respected forensic odontologists in the world. And all 6 of them said the same thing. Those are Keith Howard's teeth. All 6 were wrong. This is the story of a forensic science that was never a science at all, and the men it buried alive. To understand how 6 experts can all be confidently, catastrophically wrong, you have to go back to how bite mark evidence got into a courtroom in the first place. It didn't arrive with a study. It didn't arrive with data. It arrived with a case. In 1975, a California court in People v. Marks allowed dentists to testify that a bite on a murder victim's nose was, in their words, indistinguishably similar to the defendant's teeth. The judge let it in. 3 years later, an appeals court blessed it. And that was the foundation. Not research, but precedent. Then came the moment that made it untouchable. January 1978. A man broke into the Chi Omega sorority house at Florida State University and attacked 4 sleeping women. 2 of them, Lisa Levy and Margaret Bowman, did not survive. On Levy's body, investigators found a distinct double bite mark. The suspect was Ted Bundy. Bundy refused to give a dental impression. Prosecutors got a warrant. Reportedly, it took several men to physically hold him down while a forensic dentist named Richard Souviron took the molds. At trial in Miami in the summer of 1979, one of the first nationally televised murder trials in American history, Souviron stood in front of the cameras, put a transparent overlay of Bundy's crooked lower teeth over a photograph of the wound, and showed the jury a match. He told them he found 15 matching points. The jury convicted in under 8 hours, and America watched it happen on television. Overnight, forensic odontology went from a fringe technique to a household certainty. Teeth are like fingerprints. Everybody knew it now. It had caught Ted Bundy. Over the next 30 years, that assumption hardened into law. Court after court admitted it. Jury after jury believed it. And nobody ever ran the experiment. Bite mark analysis rests on 3 claims stacked on top of each other. Pull any one out, and the whole thing collapses. Claim 1. Human teeth are unique. You have heard this your entire life. It has never been proven. Nobody has ever collected a database of human dentition large enough to establish it. It is an assumption that sounds true, repeated so many times, by so many experts, in so many courtrooms, that it acquired the texture of fact without ever earning it. Claim 2. Skin records that uniqueness. Skin is not wax. Skin is elastic. It stretches, it swells, it bruises, it heals. It moves during a struggle. The same set of teeth can leave completely different looking marks on a different part of the body, on a different person, at a different hour. And a bruise photographed on Tuesday does not look like the same bruise on Thursday. Claim 3. A trained dentist can look at a mark and tell you who made it. When researchers finally tested this, when they gave board-certified forensic odontologists the same photographs and asked them to work, the experts couldn't reliably agree with each other. They couldn't consistently agree on whether an injury was even a human bite mark to begin with. Never mind whose. 3 claims, 0 evidence for any of them. And for 40 years, men went to prison on all 3. Ray Crone, December 1991. A bartender named Kim Ancona was found murdered in a Phoenix lounge. There were bite marks on her body, and one set showed a noticeable misalignment in the upper front teeth. The press gave the killer a nickname before they'd even found him, the Snaggletooth Killer. Ray Crone was a regular at that bar, honorably discharged from the Air Force, 7 years in the Postal Service, no criminal record, and 2 crooked upper front teeth. 12 hours after the murder, a dentist looked at his impression and concluded that only someone with a snaggletooth could have made that mark. 2 days later, Crone was under arrest. He was convicted in 1992 and sentenced to death. He won a new trial on appeal and was convicted a second time, again on the bite mark, this time sentenced to life. Even the judge said he had doubts. 10 years, 3 months and 8 days. In 2002, DNA from saliva on the victim's clothing was finally tested. It excluded Crone completely. It matched a man named Kenneth Phillips, who was already in prison for a violent sex crime and who lived a short walk from the bar. Kenneth Phillips did not have crooked teeth. Ray Crone became the 100th person exonerated from death row in the United States since 1976. Stephen Chaney, Dallas, 1987. A dentist named Jim Hales told a jury that the bite mark on a murder victim's forearm was a perfect match to Stephen Chaney's teeth, with no discrepancies, no inconsistencies, and that only 1 in a million people could have made it. The prosecutor built his entire closing argument on it. He said 1 in a million. What more do you need? Chaney had 9 alibi witnesses. It didn't matter. He got life. Here's what came out decades later. Hales's own case notes showed he'd originally written down thousands to 1, then amended it to 100,000 to 1. By the time he was in front of the jury, it had become 1 in a million. The number was never a statistic. It was a phrase. Hales eventually swore an affidavit calling his own testimony scientifically unsound. Chaney walked out in 2015 after 28 years. In 2018, Texas's highest criminal court declared him innocent. Levon Brooks and Kennedy Brewer. And then there's Mississippi, where it gets worse. Two little girls, both 3 years old, murdered in the same small Mississippi county, 18 months apart. Two different men convicted. Levon Brooks got life. Kennedy Brewer got death row. Both convictions rested on a forensic dentist named Michael West, who examined marks on the girls' bodies and testified they were human bites. About Brooks, he told the jury it could be no one else. No one but Levon Brooks bit that girl's arm. West would later estimate he'd worked on roughly 16,000 cases and testified as a bite mark expert around 81 times. In 2001, DNA from the second case came back. It didn't match Kennedy Brewer. It matched a man named Justin Albert Johnson, who had been an original suspect in both murders, who had a history of sexually assaulting girls and women, and who had been let go. Johnson confessed to both killings. He said he acted alone. Brewer was exonerated in February 2001. The crew was in Dar 8 after 15 years, several of them on death row. Brooks was cleared a month later after 15 years of his own. Now, the detail that should stay with you. When independent experts finally re-examined the bite marks that put two men away for a combined 30 years, they concluded the marks were most likely not bites at all. The most probable explanation was ordinary decomposition, and insects, fish, and turtles in the water where the girls' bodies were found. Two innocent men, 30 years, because a dentist looked at what animals had done to a body and told a jury he saw teeth. In 2011, under oath in a deposition, Michael West finally said it out loud. He no longer believed in bite mark analysis. He said it shouldn't be used in court. Throw bite marks out. Brooks and Brewer sued him. A judge ruled he was immune from damages. The Fifth Circuit upheld it. Levon Brooks died of cancer in January 2018. He was 58. He never saw a dollar. So the science collapsed, and everyone agrees. In 2009, the National Academy of Sciences reviewed American forensics and found that outside of DNA, no technique had been rigorously proven to link evidence to a specific individual with high certainty. In 2016, the President's Council of Advisors on Science and Technology went further. Bite mark analysis, they wrote, does not meet the standards for foundational validity and is far from meeting them. Examiners can't consistently agree on whether an injury is even a bite mark or identify who made it with any accuracy. That same year, the Texas Forensic Science Commission called for an outright moratorium. Even the American Board of Forensic Odontology, the profession's own governing body, revised its guidelines to concede that its members cannot identify a person as the biter. The discipline surrendered. At least 35 people have been wrongfully convicted or indicted on bite mark evidence. Now here's the ending. No court has ruled it inadmissible. 4 separate governmental bodies have said this has no basis in science. The men who did it have recanted. And bite mark testimony is still permitted in courtrooms across the United States because courts follow other courts. And the court courts that let it. In the first time, we're watching Ted Bundy on television. The law does not update when the science does. It updates when someone forces it to. Somewhere right now, there is a person in a cell who was put there by a dentist looking at a bruise. And the system that put him there has already admitted it was wrong and hasn't let him out.